I was sitting at my desk one day and my daughter came up to me. She was like, "Mommy, do you like your job?" She was like 6. It like caught me off guard, but she held a mirror to me and I was like, "No, I don't like my job." But I was like, "Mommy's going to fix that." There was a guy on my team and my boss was like, "We're going to have to let him go." This kid, he genuinely loved the job and I'm sitting here like, I do not want to be here. I want to get out. So I literally raised my hand and I was like, "I think you should let me go and not him." Time is like more valuable to me than money. And so I need a business that's going to support that and give me time. And that is not me selling 16 hours a day.
Even though I probably work more than people who are in a 9-to-5, like I love that I can go to Pilates at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
If you are just focused on sales, you are likely exhausted. I did the exact same thing and I was like, "Oh, I'll worry about the retention piece later." Like the issue with that is if you don't build it early on, then you don't have the capacity to hold what comes in.
If I was to start a new business right now, would it be valuable for me to throw spaghetti at the wall, or do I put in this retention systems right off the bat?
Welcome to the Fully Expressed podcast.
We're your hosts, Karenna
And Samantha.
and this is the show where we're inviting you into your fullest expression in life, love, and business.
Enjoy. Hey, you guys, on today's episode, we're talking all about revenue, retention, and money with Natalie Bernacchi. She is a retention and revenue systems expert, a fractional customer success leader, a mom, a founder of the Rich Biz Society, and host of the Rich Biz Podcast. She helps female founders find the money that's already sitting inside their business and unlock it through retention systems and post-sale infrastructure.
Natalie is such a heart-centered woman. I absolutely loved her intention and how she really spoke about the importance of creating a process after you've made a sale. So I think as female founders, sometimes we can get lost of like, I just want to sell more. I just need more leads or I need more closes. But she really gives you insight into what it looks like to find money with people that you've already been working with. And we even dove deep into like how people really want to hear from you if they've already worked with you. I mean, the conversation was expansive and I'm so excited for you to listen.
Enjoy.
Hi, Natalie.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you're finally here with us.
I am so excited. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, we're so excited. I feel like you've gone through like this evolution over the last couple years. And you're in this like fully expressed era, which we'll get to. But for all those who don't know, most of we met at Like Minded OC.
Mhm.
And Natalie is just such a gem. Not only has she done like the inner work and a lot of the healing and the manifestation, but has built her own businesses. And now she's really supporting entrepreneurs on finding revenue that's already there.
Yes. It has been quite a journey. I'm sure you ladies know entrepreneurship is hard. And Karenna has been in Like Minded since I was there. And so you've been able to see all the ups and downs and the transformations and all of that. So yeah.
That's the part of life that's so fun.
It
you
is.
know? And even entrepreneurship, which we talk about so much on the show. It's like it's an evolution of self and you start somewhere and then you end up somewhere else and then the next day you're somewhere else. And that's okay.
Yeah.
The art of the pivot.
The art of the pivot. Oh my goodness. And I think also just on that note, like when you're in the moment of something and you're like, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel in alignment, it's okay. And it also is like a building block to the next thing. And so like some of the things that have come up over the last couple years, I've realized like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those things. So I have this gratitude now looking back. So yeah.
Can you take us back a little bit? Like walk
Sure.
us through what you moved through from, I guess, consciously being fired from your job. Because not everyone knows the story.
Yes. You have
Um,
a good memory.
I do. Consciously being fired from your job to starting your own businesses to where you are now.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try to make this as concise as
No.
possible.
Take your time.
But I was in corporate, well, not necessarily corporate. I was scaling tech startups to the corporate size. So like pre-seed, 5 employees to like 250 employees, 50 million ARR. And once it got to that level, I was like, there were a lot of things going on. Firstly, there was COVID. The world stopped. I had a lot of reflection, slow down. I was able to spend time with my kids. I had 2 kids, one in 2017, one in 2019, completely changed my entire perspective on life. And when COVID happened and I got to spend time with them, I'm like, I'm never going to go back in the office again. This just isn't worth it for me anymore. Um, and so then I decided to leave that company. I couldn't quite pinpoint what the variable was of why I was so unhappy. If it was that I had kids, if it was that I was going into the office, if it was that I hated my job, I was in customer success and account management. I was like, is it my boss? Is it the company? Like there were so many variables. So I was like, I am going to leave this job, go to another job just to give it one more shot. Like, do I want to be in corporate, quote unquote, or not? So I left and I went to another startup. And I do love the startup. Like I know that now. That was something that I got clarity on when I went to that startup. Because it's scrappy and you get to experiment and you get to come up with an idea and it is live the next day. And like when you get to that corporate level, it's red tape, politics, slow, like all the things. So I gave that a shot for like a year and a half and still was not fulfilled or happy. And I'm like, there just has to be something more. And I was sitting at my desk one day and my daughter came up to me and she was like, Mommy, do you like your job? She was like 6. And she was just saying it like, totally matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I was like, it like caught me off guard. I don't know. I wasn't prepared for it, but it made me like actually like she held up a mirror to me. And I was like, no, I don't like my job because I didn't want to lie. But I was like, Mommy's going to fix that. And so literally from that day forward, I decided like I am going to get out of this and start my own business because I kept looking at her as myself, like at late 30s, sitting in a chair being miserable working. And I was like, I do not want that for her.
Yeah.
And then it makes you look at yourself like, well, why would I want that for me? And so I left corporate. They were actually going through some, it wasn't corporate, it was a startup, but they were going through some layoffs. And there was a guy on my team, he worked for me, and my boss, the founder and owner of the company, was like, we're going to have to let him go. And this kid essentially was so hardworking. He genuinely loved the job. And I'm sitting here like,
I don't even want to be here.
I do not want to be here. I want to get out. So I literally raised my hand and I was like, you are going to be totally shocked when I say this, but I think you should let me go and not him. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I've been wanting to get out for a long time and this makes sense. It's the right move. He ended up still letting that guy go, but I left. So I had set like a date for myself to leave, and I ended up leaving December 15th of I keep saying 2024, but I think it was 2023. It was, right? I think.
It's
like, I'm like
well, it's
asking
like you're
you like,
asking me, like I was there.
She's like, right?
But I was thinking about this, but I think it was 2023.
Well, COVID happened 2020, right?
Yeah.
2020, so like 2 years.
I think it was 23.
Yeah. It's been
I
years.
just feel like these
It is
years-
2026, which is insane to say.
Insane.
So, yeah.
Insane. So I went through mindset coaching certification, which was, I went to get the certification. It was such a personal transformation. Like, wow. But when I was done with that, I decided I wanted to help women leave their jobs to start their own businesses. And so that's what I did. And then I co-founded a community of female founders. And I realized while I was in there, yes, the mindset stuff, absolutely. But also none of the women in my mastermind had any of these post-sale systems that I had been doing for over 15 years in corporate. And so it all comes full circle because now I'm helping founders install all of those systems, which is like what I like to call like the revenue engine of a business, because they were all focused on selling. But then what happens after the sale? How do you get retention? How do you get clients coming back? How do you get them referring? And that's really like, if you were to build a business to sell, like you would be looking for a company that has strong retention metrics where the founder can walk away and you can buy the business,
and still make the money.
100%.
That makes sense.
So,
And even if you don't want to sell,
Yeah.
it's still such an imperative part. Can you talk about that? Like why retention is so important, and especially talk to the person that only thinks about selling, like wanting new followers, getting a new sale, getting a new sale, getting a new number, getting a new number. Like what needs to shift in order to focus on retention more?
So I really believe wholeheartedly in systems. Like if you have a good system, whether it's in
Mhm.
business or life or anything, it's so much easier to manage and to step away from. And I fell into this trap too when I started my first business, even though I came from over 15 years of like understanding how important it is to have retention. In corporate, it was like this constant battle. I don't know if you have this at the company you work for, Karenna, but it's like sales versus customer success, sales versus
Mhm.
customer success. Which one's better? Um, but you need both.
I wouldn't say which one's better, but it's always like whose role is this on?
Yeah,
Like specific roles, like the account management side of this. Like, yeah,
right. Yeah, it's
it's
always
a
a
whole thing.
thing. But when you're running your own business, especially if you're a solopreneur or a very small team, you're wearing all the hats. So
Mhm.
it all matters. But I think a big part of like my personal journey and what I'm bringing to founders now is if you are just focused on sales, you are likely exhausted.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
it is
burning out.
exhausting. Yeah. And so when I started my own business, I was like, yeah, I need sales. Yeah, I need money. Yeah, I need to get clients in. And so I did the exact same thing. And I was like, oh, I'll worry about the retention piece later. Like, wait till I have all the clients and then I'll build it. The issue with that is if you don't build it early on, then you don't have the capacity to hold, like you yourself as an individual and your business does not have the capacity to hold what comes in. And
Mm.
so if you build that infrastructure first, then you have the capacity to hold so much more. So it's like a lot of these founders that I'm working with, the ones that are farther on in their business, they might be making like $500,000 a year in revenue and they can't figure out why they can't move forward any farther than that. It's
Mhm.
because they do not have the infrastructure to support what's going to get them further. Um, but mostly it's like you have to look at your life as a female entrepreneur. What do you want your life to look like? Because what I found is the reason why I was so unhappy in corporate, it didn't fit my lifestyle. And so I want the freedom, the flexibility, the time with my kids. Time is like more valuable to me than money. And so I need a business that's going to support that and give me time. And that is not me selling 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
So setting up the systems to support that life that you want.
Can you give an example of what a system is? Like walk them through, like what does that actually mean? Because I think a lot of people focus on the front end of marketing, right? Like get the person, let's start our brand, get visibility, get them in, get a lead,
Hmm.
nurture them, and then they work with them. Then what happens?
So there are 5 systems that I help founders implement in their business. And it really is the same as like any startup that would have a full customer success org. And it's onboarding, client experience, renewals. And if you don't have recurring revenue or a subscription model or a membership model, there's still ways where you can get that renewal and retention piece in. And then referrals and expansion ascension pathways. So where are they going to go next after they sort of like get out of this one offer that you have? And then there's a 6th one, actually. It's like a bonus. It's the win back or the recapture. So what happens when a client does leave?
Mm.
How do you get them back and how do you keep them in their world, in your world? And so it really is a combination of like strategy, because everybody's business, yes, you can have the same sort of like framework, but everybody's business is unique. And especially for most of the founders that I work with, they're heart led women business owners.
Mhm.
And so it has to feel good for them and for the customer. And so it is like tailored to each person's individual style and business and what's going to serve their clients. Um, so it's strategy in terms of what does this system look like? How is it going to support you as the founder, your team, if you have one, and the client? So it's a win win all around. But then it's like the actual tactical piece, which is like, what tech stack are you going to use? How
Mhm.
many emails get sent? Is this an automated app that you have? Is this one-on-one high touch, white glove service? So then it's actually working backwards and putting in the actual like infrastructure.
Have you had any founders be resistant to implementing this?
Yes.
Why?
So I've totally have been through this myself too. We as founders like to be in control. And so a bit of it is a challenge of letting go of control and knowing that the system is going to work and trusting that it's going to be okay if you take a step back.
Because you're creating a system versus them doing each step themselves.
100%.
Yeah.
And so like in this world of AI, we're going through this trust recession, and it is true. Like you want to make sure that you're available and present for your clients and that they don't feel like they're going through an automated
like robotic experience.
Exactly. Yeah. But there are so many ways to do it to make sure that the client is getting the information they need. Sure, some of it's going to be automated, but also as the founder or, their team, there's still ways to make it feel very personalized and very taken care of for the client. But yeah, I think that's a big hurdle. It's a mindset thing for founders is like, we work ourselves into the ground because we're like, I have to do it all. I have to do it all. I can't delegate this. If I do delegate it, then I have to still be like on this person or VA or team member or system. And no, you don't. You can take a step back. And actually, it's super valuable because you collect so much data when you have a system and you're running everyone through the same framework. Then you see, where are things going wrong? Okay, my clients are dropping off at this exact point in their customer journey, and I wouldn't have known that if I was walking everyone through it differently. And then when you start hiring for a team and building out a team, it allows you to have more trust in your team because you know that they're going to be implementing the same exact systems that you once did. So it's a bit of a mindset thing when I'm working with some founders to allow them to feel comfortable stepping back and letting the system.
Do you think that's why startups, I wouldn't say do so well, but like in the beginning, there's all this inspiration. And like you said, it's kind of like you're throwing pasta at the wall and hoping it sticks. So you're trying like a million different things versus female or entrepreneurs in general that are on their own trying to bootstrap everything. I don't know, like, do you see that there's more creativity in the startup? And is there a way to bring that into a business, like as an entrepreneur on your own?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I see a lot of similarities because honestly, like at the end of the day, even in a true startup environment, um, it's still a person that just is like like I can use my last job where I was a W-2 employee as an example. The founder was a real estate broker, and he just came up with this really good idea for an app. And he's like, I'm going to start a company. He literally has never had a job in his life outside of being a real estate agent. So he never worked in a company, which meant he literally did not know how to manage a team, which means he didn't know anything about the different departments. Like every day he would go to product that actually was not product's job. It was marketing's job. And like, yeah, there was a lot of learning there, but also at the same time, like he was just a founder, just coming up with an idea and starting it and leaning on the person who came in last, like telling them what he should do and then going to the next thing. So in terms of like female founders that I work with, I think a lot of them are very heart-led, super creative. As women, we love to create. We're meant to create. So yeah, I think it's so interesting to like see the two worlds collide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that answered your question, but
I have a question to piggyback off that.
yeah.
I agree with your statement. I think they're the same. My question to piggyback off that would be like, do you think there's value in, so I'm thinking back to myself, like if I was to start a new business right now, would it be valuable for me to throw spaghetti at the wall because when I'm figuring out myself and my own product, my own service, or do I put in this retention systems right off the bat?
So I think there is so much value in experimenting, 100%. And like, even though I'm a systems girl, I wholeheartedly believe like you have to experiment. I think there's a way at the beginning to kind of have a compromise there where you are putting systems in. It may not be the whole kit and caboodle though. And I always lean towards simplicity rather than overbuilding. So you want to start with like as little steps as possible in these systems. And it may not be all the systems. Like you might start with onboarding. You might start with client experience, like those two things. As simple as possible. And then from there, you take customer feedback, which is a huge part of customer success, huge part of retention. And so it's about getting that feedback loop and then iterating and building on as you grow and evolve. So it's almost like your customers and your systems are growing with you as your company grows. Yeah.
That's really beautiful. I think there's so many listeners here that are either entrepreneurs or they're like starting the book or they're starting the podcast or they're starting the thing. And, you know, it's like, what do you focus on? But I think the 3 basic ones that you just said are just so important. And beyond that, one thing I want to pull the thread on just for you and like your experience and your journey is like through your experience, what have you had to shed in order to like establish a business in the way that you have it today?
So many things. And I'm still shedding.
We're all still shedding. Yeah. More layers.
Yeah. Honestly, I look back at this version of myself like when I decided I'm going to leave and start my own business. And I am like not even the same person. Like I feel like the people who, for example, the coworkers that I had at the companies I worked for, they are probably seeing me on social media like, who is this person? Because that is not the Natalie I know. So many things. And I think I had to let go of, first of all, caring what people thought of me. Speaking of being fully expressed, it's like you have to be okay with being yourself. Because every time that I was not myself and every time I did something in my business or in life where it was like, I'm doing this because this other person wants me to do it or this other person said I should do it, and I wasn't having that trust in myself, it led me the wrong way. As soon as I started like making decisions that were in full body alignment, like listening deep down, like, no, I know that I know this is right, even though like everyone I know might be saying it's wrong. Like, I know this is right. You have to go with what you feel because only you know you. Only you know what's right for you. And so I think that was the biggest thing, was literally letting go of like what other people thought and then just really digging into like self-trust.
How did you build this as a mom?
As a mom.
Yeah. I mean, you said that you wanted time and freedom, but
Yeah,
you also actually created a business while also being a mom.
definitely. I think, well, it was really hard. And there were so many times and still now where I'm still building the business out and like I want to throw my hands up in the air and be like, should I just go back to corporate? Like, this is so hard. Is this worth it? You know? But then I think about like, actually, the people that we see that are quote unquote successful, that are like, finally, like, it feels like they've made it or whatever we think made it means. We don't see the 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, whatever it was that they were grinding, you know? And so when I look at the whole situation, it's really my kids that get me through it. Because even if there are moments in my day where it's like, okay, I'm working on the business a little too much this season. I'm doing this because I want to be with my kids. So is this trade-off worth it? That kind of thing. I look at them and I see, well, what am I showing them if I give up? And what am I showing them if I'm not actually doing what's in alignment with me? I'm showing them that they also can't do what's in alignment for them. I want them to know, like, yeah, life is going to be hard. Business is going to be hard. Doing what you want is going to be hard, but also like that's can also be the fun part of it, you know? And so I want them to see a mom that is not going to give up on herself and is going to do what it takes. And honestly, every time that I let go of like the what's the word? Like the grip of I'm going to control this outcome, I'm going to
Mhm.
control how this is going to go. Whenever I let go of that, it's like so much better. And sometimes that might be mean like, okay, it's Wednesday, the kids aren't in school right now. We're just going to go to the beach and like hang out, and it's okay if I take a day off from my computer and go do this.
Mhm.
Like the business is going to run, and because I have systems in place, it
Mhm.
supports it.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So, what I mean by systems is like if a client reaches out to me and they either are like a prospect or they are an existing client, I have systems in place where they feel like they're getting taken care of. And that might
Mm.
just mean like, okay, so an example of this, like an everyday example, is like, I love Starbucks. You might have your favorite coffee shop, right? So you go to the coffee shop, you order your drink, and have you ever waited like a really long time and you're thinking like, "Oh my gosh, did they forget about me? Like,
Mhm.
did they get my order? They haven't come out, they haven't acknowledged me, like nothing." So
Usually the person going up there be like, "Did you get my order?"
Yeah.
yeah. And it's literally as simple as even if it took the same amount of time, let's say they were so busy that they couldn't make you your coffee drink for 20 minutes. If they would just acknowledge that they received your order and that they're working on it and said
Mhm.
like, "Hey, it's going to take a little longer than expected," you'd be fine. You'd
Yeah.
probably, I mean, unless you were super busy and you had to get somewhere, but you would be fine with it. It's when you leave them in the unknown that
Mhm.
the client feels really stressed and worried. And like, so when you think about bigger ticket things, like if you're paying for a coach, for example, which is essentially what I'm doing, consulting and coaching.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more than a coffee
Yeah.
in terms of price. When someone buys something and they're putting their money in exchange for something, if you go dark or if you take a day off and go to the beach with your kids and like,
They're like, "Hello."
yeah, or they see you on Instagram,
Yeah,
or
they're like, "What is
like,
she doing? She's supposed to be working."
yeah. So it's really just communicating and making sure that it's like they know you did not forget about them.
Mhm.
And so the systems in place are literally like an auto reminder or like little like for example, like in a membership model you may have like it's you have the prompt set up. So like you can step away and like on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays prompts are going out to the community. You've written the prompts
Mhm.
yourself. They're coming from you. It's
Mhm.
not like AI generated, but you're scheduling them so that your community can keep going without you.
Mhm.
So it's things like that. It's making sure that your clients can continue on their journey in whatever you're giving them, product or service, they can continue on in their journey without you having to be at your computer answering.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I think it's important what you said too is going back, like entrepreneurship is different. It's hard. And
Yes.
so often there are moments where you're like, I could just get a regular job and like it would be easy. But I think personally for me, I would never give up the ability, even though I probably work more than people who are in a 9 to 5. Like, I love that I can go to Pilates at 10 a.m. on a
Yeah.
Tuesday, or I can say, hey, I need a beach day. I'm going to take 3 hours and go to the beach.
Yeah.
And that's the part, while at the same time, I get to create something I love. And even though there's so many aspects of the business I definitely avoid and I probably could hire you and need your help. I still feel so much gratitude that I get to do that. I feel like I want to. My husband always says, don't call it work, it's play. But I love to be in that energy.
Yeah.
And then it makes me want to work more or like spend more hours on that thing
Yeah.
because I'm able to have those other moments of spending time with friends or going to the beach or having my 8:30 a.m. coffee at the shop I want.
Yeah. No, it's so true. It's the flexibility.
Yeah.
And it's you get to do it on your terms and decide what you want to do that day or pick what you're going to work on and not have somebody telling you what to do. It's
Yeah.
so different. It's
Although
it's
sometimes I'm like, maybe someone just needs to tell me what to do.
oh my God, that's so funny. I actually built a Claude skill. I don't know if you use
Oh,
Claude, but I
I do,
built a
yeah.
Claude skill. It's my chief of staff and it is hysterical. I was crying. I was laughing so hard when I built it because it was like, okay, so I'm going to keep you in check. How would you like me to
Call you out.
essentially? It was like, do you want me to be gentle? Do you want me to be direct? Do you want me to be stern? And I was like, I want like no leash. Like, I need to be focused. I need to get this stuff done. I have big goals, big due dates. And it was like, okay. So the first time I tried being like, well, I want to sneak this in. So at first I had it look at all my tasks in Notion and
Mhm.
like anything that I had on my calendar. And I was like, tell me what to prioritize. And it gave me a list. I was like, actually, did a pretty good job. And then I'm like, but I actually want to get this done too. And it was like,
Hell no.
Natalie, as your chief of staff. Like it got so serious with me. And I was
I love that because I have not programmed Claude to that extent, but
Yeah.
I have been redoing my website, and that's a whole other story. But like at one point I was going over a few different programming things with Claude, and literally Claude straight up was like, this is a waste of your time right now. You need to like let's put this aside and save it for someone else or for later. Like
Yeah.
you get to the point.
Yeah.
Like literally it called me out.
I
And
know.
I'm like, whoa, okay, Claude,
Yeah.
calm down.
I know.
But yeah, they definitely it'll put you in your place. It's like this is why you aren't where you say you want to be.
I know. No, seriously. So yeah, AI. Love it.
Can we talk a little bit about it?
Yeah.
With AI, how are you using it in your retention systems?
So I use it in
If you
my
are.
Yeah, I definitely do use it. I definitely use it. And I use it in a way where it's like, it's not taking over the human aspect. It's just enhancing it. And so
Mm.
like depending on again, every single business is so different so when I'm working with a new founder or a new startup, because I do fractional work too, um, they likely already have systems in place. So like I'm not going in to completely like disrupt their whole organization and take all the systems out and put new ones in. I'm working with what they have, unless it's like absolutely horrible and they really do need something like new. That's usually not the case. But in terms of AI, most of the tools these days have AI built
Mhm.
into them. And so it might be like some of the startups that I work with, they have chatbots on their website or like in their
Mhm.
knowledge center or support thing. And it's just to help get the information to the customer faster. It doesn't mean like you can't reach someone. Those companies drive me crazy when you're like on a website and you're like, I need help with this. I need to talk to a human. And there's like no human available.
It's like every bank.
Yeah. There's no phone number.
You try to talk to the banks. They're like, I can't hear what you're saying. You're like, oh my gosh, just give me a real person.
I know.
You can't help me. I already know you can't help me.
I know. It's so bad. So it's like, if it's working in a way where it's like serving up information that you can get quicker than talking to someone, great.
Yeah.
But it should not replace like the parts that you actually need a human for. And then there's also other parts where it's like connecting systems together. AI is super helpful with that. And um, you know, monitor or showing up tasks. So like you can now have like Claude, for example, for a lot of these solopreneurs, like every day it'll run these scheduled tasks and scrape things for you and tell you what to do and who to reach out to and this client's doing this. And so there are so many ways that you can use AI where it's not like writing all your content for you. It's not writing all your emails for you. It can definitely polish up what you write if you
Yeah.
want it to do that. But yeah, it's used in a way where it's really just in my mind in terms of like customer success, just getting the client the information as fast as possible.
That one that comes up to mind with Joy, the Joy website, I use them for my wedding.
Mhm.
And we ran into something at the end where I was trying to take the money out that people got me. And I was like, there's like $4,000 in here. I need to get this money, but I couldn't get the money. It wasn't going to the right bank.
Oh no.
But it had an AI response and like it got me far enough, but it got me to the point and I loved it because I was like, wow, Jose is like up at like 11 p.m. What are you
Yes.
doing? I'm like over here,
Yes.
like quick responses. I was like,
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved how quickly I was getting a response. I didn't have to like send like an email and then they're going to get back to me in 24 hours. Like it was so good for like the initial, like, I mean, questions that everyone's going to have answers
Right.
to. Brilliant.
Right.
And then we got to this place where I'm like, all right. He's like, he did say in his email, he's like, if this is not helping you, please tell me and I will get a human for you.
Right. I like
And
that.
Yeah.
then the human like would pop in. They're like, this is real Jose, not like AI Jose. Just kidding. It wasn't like that. And he's like, I've got your back. And it was so good. And it, like,
Yeah.
he helped me and like, it was great.
Yeah.
I loved that. I
Mhm.
think in sales right now in my corporate job, I have started using it for like follow-up emails, which I really like.
Mhm.
So you can like scrape through your emails and like, who have I
Yes.
not talked to or not followed up to? I wish I could do that with my text messages.
Mhm.
Maybe for you, because you use text, not email for your business.
Yeah.
But I think about that for customer success too. So especially customer success in my corporate job, more than anything, like there is this desire to like want to be in it with your customers. So
Mhm.
I'd wonder how much Claude can like play a role in that, because I think the more information you know about what's being present in your customers, like especially the people who are selling products only, like if you're only doing products, like you touch them once, you sell the product.
Mhm.
If it's a software product solution, then like they're using it daily, but maybe the evolution of their business changed or
Right.
shifted, and that could be a potential feature in your product. So I'd be
Yes.
curious what the timing of following up could be with AI
Mhm.
potentially to like stay closer to your customer, because you know your customer tells you everything
Yes.
about what you need and what they
Yeah.
want next. What are your thoughts on that? Like, yeah, how quickly do you follow up with people? What does the retention system look like? Is it, because I know this conversation is different for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
do I check in with them every 2 weeks? Do I check in with them every 2 months? Is it a 6-month check-in? Is it an
Mhm.
annual check-in? Obviously, you want to check in with them before they renew,
Right.
but
Okay, so
it's more than that.
two things on that. First, I'm going to answer the question about, or actually touch on the note about the AI, what it can do in your business. So
Mhm.
another thing is it can, if you record all your calls with your clients or customers, or if they're calling in, or you're getting them all from AI, like pulling all their information into a database or something, it can tell you themes. So, like what you were saying about clients, they'll tell you everything. Sometimes they will tell you everything, but in a way that's like they're not being super direct. So, AI can pull out those themes for you and you can get to the root of things a lot faster. Um, in terms of the follow up, though, it is going to definitely totally depend on the client and the business model and what they're doing. So, for example, if you have, let's say you are a startup, or let's say you're a founder and you have quite a few different businesses that you're working with, they may all require a totally different type of experience. So, for example, like when I was scaling startups, we had small business, mid market, and enterprise. When that company first started, when we had like maybe less than 100 employees, everyone was lumped into the same experience, the same user experience from top to bottom. Then we realized no, the larger organizations obviously need so much more. It's more complex. They usually have a dedicated person that's working with you, that's like, they are the person at that company that's assigned this project. And so you can follow up with them a lot more. You're almost like in their business with them. Now, if you're working with like founders or mom and pop shops and it's a very small business, that segment, that person is wearing 5,000 hats. And you might not, unless your product or service is like a absolute necessity, you're not necessarily a priority. You're one of like 30 things on their to-do list that day. And so if you reach out to them as much as you would a large organization, they're going to get overwhelmed and they're going to be like, I don't want this anymore. You're overwhelming me. So it's kind of this nuanced, it's so nuanced. It really is, in terms of the size of the company you're working with, the type of company you're working with. So I wish I had a blanket answer for that, but it really is so nuanced and it totally depends.
I mean, I think you taught people just in your answer, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think depending on who your customer is and what does that look like I know we're talking to our branding friend and we were trying to create a retention plan for her. And I was like, you should check in with them like every 6 months. Like,
Yeah.
they change. Like as a female founder, you're changing
Oh, yeah.
every 6 months. Like
Mhm.
you might want to check in with them for new photos every 6 months because I'm like,
100%.
I've changed, evolved so much in the last 6 months. So I think
Yeah.
knowing your customer the most and building a um, plan
Yeah.
or system that makes sense for your customer, but having one is important
Right.
anyways.
Yeah. So I would say staying top of mind is so important,
Mhm.
like, especially if you have a service where it is like a branding, you know,
Package,
provider
yeah.
or a photographer, you're doing like a one and done kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, the rule of thumb I love to have is like every one customer should bring you five.
Mm.
And that might be that, okay, they've done one of your packages, but maybe you offer other things. So, like 3 months later, they might come back for something else, or they might refer a friend, or they
Mhm.
might refer three friends, or, there's so many ways that that one person can equal essentially the revenue of five customers. So, that's how I like to look at it. And then also, um, once a client has left, you just want to make sure you're top of mind. So it's not spamming them with emails or anything, but you want to make sure that the next time they go to do whatever it is that you offer, that they think of
Of
you.
you. Yeah.
And so it might just be sending them a newsletter. That's like, what am I up to? You're not really selling them necessarily, but if they had a good experience with you and you stay top of mind, they're not going to forget about you,
Mhm.
you know?
I think this is why social media is so
Yeah.
Powerful.
powerful
Mhm.
because the people you're constantly seeing or, you know, either you're on their stories or they're posting consistently, you're like constantly thinking about them. Or if someone proposes a problem to a challenge or whatever, it's like that's the first person you think of, or like, I know this exact account, you got to follow this person. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
of course, social media shouldn't be your only retention game, but I can see the power in being top of mind is really what I'm highlighting the most. It's
Yeah.
like being top of mind is the retention plan.
Definitely. And also, I think one of the reasons I had someone tell me this when I was in corporate scaling these startups. Someone said to me, I think the reason why you're so good at what you do is because you understand the needs of the business, like
Mm.
for your client. And they were at like my boss took me into a room one day and was like interviewing me on like how am I having such high renewal percentages and what am I doing different and all of these things and I was like I just talked to them. I literally just talked to the client like they're a human being and like it's not I don't look at them like they're a business. Yes, it is a business, but I'm just what do they need? And so a
Mhm.
lot of it is too just asking them like, "Hey, when would it be okay if I reached out next?" And then you have some system in the back end where you plug in the date of
Mhm.
when they said, and then you reach out to them on that date when the reminder pops up. Hey, just checking in because you told me to.
Mhm.
It's not some cold blast of like,
Mhm.
I'm popping in just to pop in. It's like, no, we talked about this. Like, you knew I was going to check in, and they're usually so much more receptive. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Do you see a correlation? I think it's interesting. Like so many female founders are type A, they're driven, they're passionate, they're like, I can do it all myself, especially when you're starting, you are wearing all the hats. Between that and not even wanting to reach out because you're like, I don't want to bother them.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
because I feel like that's such a huge correlation
Yes.
I'm starting to see the more we work with founders is like
Yeah.
they're so good at what they do, but then they're afraid to be like, hey, I'm good at what I do. Do you want to come work with me again? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is also part of the mindset stuff,
Hmm.
and it's all these limiting beliefs. I mean, literally last week or the week before at Like Minded OC, we were doing
Mhm.
roundtables, and one of the women in the group had that exact thing that came up. And
Mm.
she was like, yeah, I have this next offer, but, I don't think they're going to want it. And we were like, "Why did they work with you in the first place?
Yeah.
Because they wanted it, and they don't know what you offer if you're not telling them."
Right.
And think about it like the reframe that I would have for anyone with that sort of, like, limiting belief is you're doing them a disservice by not telling them what you offer because they may very well be wanting that. Like, you're
Mm.
helping them.
Hmm.
So, usually when you have a business, you're solving a problem.
Right.
And so you have to think of it like, no, actually, you're doing them a disservice by not sharing it and not following up. So you don't have to follow up in a super salesy way, but it's just like putting it on the table. Like, this is what I do. This might be helpful for you. So I'm letting you know. If they don't take it, they don't take it. But yeah.
Love that.
I've recently have had this like click or this shift in my mind where I'm like, wow, like living more fully expressed and just expressing like what I'm offering or what we're creating, like there's almost like responsibility in that because there's people out there that are literally praying for that solution.
Yeah.
And if I don't express myself or feel confident enough to express that we are creating this event or that we're having guests on the show or like they're not gonna be able to find me,
Yeah.
you know? And they're over here thinking about at night, like, oh, it'd be so nice if someone put this together, or like, oh, I didn't realize how much I needed that.
Yeah.
And like that's what I focus on more is like back to like being a disservice, but more like, wow, I have a responsibility to share what I do and what I'm creating because the person that is meant to be a part of my world is literally like, please praying at night, like someone help me solve this, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And that feels like a really deep responsibility.
Yeah.
I think especially as an entrepreneur and especially as someone that is a female founder, like you're building a business to create, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually you're creating to solve someone's problems
Right.
in some way, shape, or form. And if they don't know that you have the answer to the problem, then
They can't.
they still have the problem.
Yeah.
True.
Or they're going to go to someone. This is the other part that makes me sad too, is like maybe someone else is really good at sales, and they have so confident at expressing themselves, but they can't deliver.
Right.
And I know
Yeah.
as heart-centered women that you work with, like we take it so responsible
Yeah.
to
I
deliver,
know.
you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
deliver the service, deliver the product. Like we want them to have a good experience. I even think
Mhm.
about this with you in jewelry. Like
Yeah.
how many people out there are not getting what they pay for?
I know.
And
Yeah.
you provide them such a beautiful piece of jewelry. And I'm like, wow, they could have such an amazing experience the more that they hear from you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's for every single person listening.
Definitely.
Even with you, right?
Yeah.
Like you could be changing so many female founders. You are
Yeah.
changing so many female founders' lives, but they're only going to know if you express it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like what keeps me going, like when I left corporate, I was like, I never want to talk about customer success or account management, retention, revenue, all of those words. I literally never want to hear them again. Like I have PTSD, please. Like just let me go on my woo-woo mindset like journey, which is literally what I needed at the time. It's so
Mhm.
interesting how our businesses are like such a
Reflection of where we are in the moment.
exactly,
Yeah.
like really. They're an extension of us. And
Mhm.
so but then when I started seeing these women like not have these systems and they were getting stuck and they're like frustrated and they're like, I'm plateauing and I can't move forward in my business and I'm still working 16 hours a day and I like, this isn't what I signed up for. I feel like, okay, I have this sort of like duty per se. Like I have all this experience and I could definitely help women get their time back in their day.
Mhm.
And so that was the flip for me. And now that I'm doing it on my own terms, it feels a lot better.
Yeah.
But yeah, to actually see like the wins on the other side of women being like, yeah, I got to like stop working at 3 o'clock today and like it was fine. Or I got past that hump in my revenue and now I can actually like put more money in my pocket and I got to take this vacation or something like that. So, yeah.
One simple system that we have in place is our email response.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we both have our own jobs outside of the podcast.
Yeah.
So we have that like 48 hour response. Like, we got your email. We'll get back to you within
That's
48
huge.
hours. And
Yeah.
that's all that they need to know.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
that's all that kind of makes me back. Like, there's no unknown. It didn't go into a black box
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we didn't
Yeah.
get it.
We
But
heard
there's that
you.
auto response of like, we'll get back to you, I promise.
Yeah. Cause then if you don't get back to them, because we live in a world now where it's like everyone needs everything right now.
Yeah. They
You know,
want an
like
instant response.
my kids with like, I'm like, you guys, like Amazon, I love, don't get me wrong. Like it's
Yeah.
so cool that things just show up, but I'm like,
It saves you on certain days.
Yeah, it does. It
It
really
does.
We plan a couple events and I'm like, Sam, we need this tomorrow.
Yeah, literally. It's showing up as
Or
the
like
event's
same
about to
day.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah, same day delivery. But it's true.
That
It
is
is.
so
It has
true.
created such a culture of convenience, and then we get. It's. I think we all are guilty at times of being like, why haven't they responded yet? Why don't I know what's going on?
Yes.
When really it's like, oh, it's been 12 hours. I think
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's okay. But like a day goes by. If you don't respond to that email, people are like, did they, like it's the Starbucks example. It's like, did they not get my email?
Mhm.
Did they delete it? Did it go to spam? And it's like, now that they have that automatic response where they know you're communicating with them, your boundaries essentially, um, they're okay. Also, I got that email and I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was
She's
so
like,
good.
honored.
Well,
I was so
I
proud.
just knew our life. I was like, especially when we first started, I was like, Sam, I'm putting this on.
Yeah.
I was
Like,
like,
no
I don't want the
problem.
pressure to get back to everyone, especially if we were like full on that day or
Yeah.
whatever.
It actually creates, so like similar reframe of like making sure you're doing what's best for your client, like it creates less anxiety for them
Yeah.
too. So yes, obviously it's less pressure for you, but it's less anxiety, less pressure for them too. So all these little steps along the way, it's really about being proactive and intentional. Those are like two very big things in enhancing client experience. And if you have a good experience, like you go to a restaurant, the food could be mediocre, but if the experience is like impeccable, you're going to go back. If you go to a restaurant and the food's really good, but the experience sucks, you're probably not going to go back. So it's like just being really intentional and being really deliberate about communicating. And it's at these specific moments in their journey and designing that. So super simple.
And what you're saying too, it doesn't have to take our time to do so.
Exactly.
Like you're saying, there could be like an automation in place or a system in place,
Yeah.
a quick email, like an onboard. I remember when I first started coaching, the minute someone paid, it'd be like, welcome, here are your onboarding steps.
Yeah.
And like that, I had to change that because I
Yeah.
originally was like, I'd send them the link, they'd pay me. It was like a whole contract. It was all manual. And then
Yeah.
I automated that. I was like, wow, they know exactly what to do next. I don't have to be in the weeds of that.
Right. And as long as like, I mean, depending on the type of business, obviously, like if you have a really large business and you have thousands of customers, you're not going to be able to reach out to that person one-on-one. But if you have a small business and you have that capacity, or it is more of like a white glove service, you still have those automations in place. And then you just say like, I'll be in touch soon. I literally have that on my many chat on Instagram. Like people reach out, or people follow me, it automatically sends them a note. And it's like, this is Natalie's many chat. Like, but I promise I'm a human and I will be here to pop in, like to say hi myself.
That's good.
So,
BRB.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's to your point, like, I don't think so many, I think people don't always realize like you're really buying the energy of someone.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. In product-based businesses, you're buying the quality and like that's what probably brings you back to buy again. But it's also the customer experience, which is the
100%.
energy of the business that you're cultivating. And I think about, I was just in Italy with my husband and we stayed at a really incredible resort. We had a lot of experiences, but that's another podcast.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
But the resort,
funny.
we stayed at two really nice resorts, but actually I want to speak to the first one because for the price we paid, like the room was just okay, to be honest. The bed was comfortable and the sheets were 10 out of 10, like high quality. But the room itself was dated. They're in the process of redoing the hotel. Like I could have, if I had had a bad experience in customer service, I would have been like, this was not worth the money.
Right.
But because their service was so detailed, they thought of everything. They were always checking on you. They were always asking you, how are you? What do you need?
Yeah.
They noticed to the point of like, I didn't want bacon on something. And they're like, oh, they brought us something that was not, pork or whatever. When I wouldn't have even known it came with pork, like those sort of things, I would go back 10 times over because it was so incredible, even though like the amenities were great too. But the room itself was like, hey, the shower sprayed everywhere. The first time I was like, oh shit, where are we? But yeah, to your point, like, and that's why you go back and buy from people again or want to work with someone again is you're buying their energy and what they're offering and the detail, like the attention to detail.
Yeah, it is. It's true. Have you guys read the book Unreasonable Hospitality?
No.
It's so good.
Oh,
I recommend to like any entrepreneur. It's so good. It just talks about really going above and beyond and how beneficial that is for your business and obviously for your clients too. But it's almost the same, energy where it's like the more you give, the more you receive, right? So it all goes hand in hand. Yeah.
This conversation has been so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel that in my own jewelry business, like I'm selling very expensive luxury jewelry to people. Like it is a huge investment, but I think I get clients coming back again and again because of the experience I'm offering. And like before I was afraid to kind of now I feel this obligation to educate people on jewelry because there's a lot of
Yeah.
lies and a lot of false advertising. And because I have done that, it has brought me more retention, and it
Mhm.
is a lot more touch point. I mean, to her point, like I'm texting people. I'm not really in, I don't even have an email set up, you guys. So it's pretty, I mean, I have an email, but I don't have a automation of any kind in my
Yeah.
business,
But it
which
is a really high quality service.
Yeah, there are different
but
types
it
of
is. It's like
business
a white glove
models.
service, like you said.
Yeah.
But because of that, and it's also more joyful for me. Like it
Yeah.
is more of my time and energy, but it feels so good knowing that I can promise a quality piece that you will have for a lifetime and pass to your daughter or pass to your niece or whoever.
Yeah.
Like that is a beautiful gift.
Yeah.
And it has taken me time to realize like that's the process that people are actually coming back for and wanting,
Mhm.
besides they love the piece, obviously. So yeah, to your point, I mean, it is business based, but or individual, but it is so important. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to read that book, but I think
Yeah, it's so
that's
good.
it's everything. And it's crazy because we'll comment sometimes, like we'll see businesses do certain things and you're just like, what?
I
Like
know.
even that 48-hour email, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for them to respond. Even in retail, you see it, right?
I
Like you
know.
buy from someone and they're so on top of it, their customer service is incredible. You're like, I'll be back again and
Oh,
again,
yeah.
even if you get a damaged piece.
This is
Yeah.
why Tesla does so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also realized Tesla killed it because he realized that people don't want to go and be sold a million things. Or you go on the car websites, you're like, I just want to see the basics and the car. And they're like,
Yeah.
over here and this thing and this, there's like 25
But also,
pages
there's
to
no,
get to it.
you just pay with a credit card. There's no loan.
Yeah, there's
or
no human interaction really.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's just clean.
It's super easy.
They
Yeah.
nailed the car business of what people don't like,
Mhm.
which is
Oh
like
my
the
God, I
salesy.
hate the car part.
I
Yeah.
know.
They don't try to
Sales-
sell you on
I
all the bells and
know.
whistles or all the extra packages. They're just like, here you go. This is the price and you can pay it if you want.
Or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's oh my gosh, yeah, that's a whole nother story about sales and that philosophy and everything like that, but it's like literally that's why you don't discount. It's like this is the price. If you want it, you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Take it or leave it.
Mhm.
You're
It's
good.
okay if it
You're
doesn't
not.
work out. And it's
Yeah.
like that letting
It's not for
go
you.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I bought a car back when I was in college, and it was like I went with my mom and we were sitting. Also, today's my mom's birthday. She passed away, but today was her birthday.
Oh,
So
happy birthday to
birthday.
happy
her.
birthday, Mom. But I remember the guy kept going back and forth into like the back room. I have to go talk with my boss and negotiate. And we were there for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
I got lucky with my last car because there was another couple in front of us and we ended up we were there for almost 7 hours. By the time it was 11 p.m., by the time we got into the room and I was with my husband and he's like bought and sold a lot of cars. He was like, listen, we're not interested in any of the packages. We know how this goes. It's 11 p.m. We want to sign the papers. We want this interest rate. Like,
Yeah.
let's go, and it worked. I mean, also because I had a man with me, they definitely treat you
Yeah.
different. But it is, he was ready. He was like, but, like ready to sell all the things. He's like, no. Like, we
Stop.
want to drive this car off the lot in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So let's hustle along.
Yeah.
But it is, it's such
It's crazy.
a experience.
I know. Yeah, it's nuts.
I want to ask you, what would you say? I mean, is there anything that you would love to say, like last final words to someone that may not have a retention system in place, and like, where can they get started? What can they open themselves up to?
So I think some of the things just for like new founders or people who maybe they have really great established businesses with no systems, I call it an impressive mess. And I see it all the time. I'm like, how did you get this far with like nothing in place? But it happens. Just start simple. Like really, it does not need to be complicated.
Mm.
Start simple, get customer feedback, see how it works for you in your life. If it's going in the right direction, you add. I also do have a couple of links on my Instagram people can go to, and it'll give them a revenue leak finder. So it's like a 2-minute quiz. You answer
Perfect.
5 or 10 questions, and it'll tell you literally where to start first, and it'll give you action items. And then 5 places you can automate your business to if you're looking to kind of like automate things. So yeah.
Is there one place that you feel like in all the female founders you've worked with, like where they're leaving money on the table? Like, is there one place in particular that you see come up again and again?
I do. So usually across the board, it is in onboarding. Like it's simple, tiny little tweaks that you can make where it's like those intentional things I'm talking about. Because when someone gives you their money, put their credit card down, they pay you. Your job in that first week is to make sure that they feel really good about that decision. if they don't feel really good about that decision, I mean, I'm sure you guys have had that happen to you where you're like regretful, like, oh, I just spent all that money and I shouldn't have done that. That's the worst feeling. So it's really like those first 7 days, making sure they get a quick win and that they are like amped. Like, I just made the best decision, that was the best $20 spent. That was the best $3,000 spent, whatever it is. The other piece for more seasoned entrepreneurs or businesses is their win back program. So you have so many people that you've worked with, most likely, and it's sort of like what we were talking about, where you don't. There's a lot of founders that don't want to reach back out to them. They are your warmest leads. They already know what it's like to work with you, and if you provide a good experience, they want to come back. They're just waiting for you to tell them how. So yeah,
waiting to be invited.
exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
One more question.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's over. Where in your life are you feeling called to be more fully expressed? This can be life, love, or business.
I think I'm stepping into my most fully expressed version of myself in my business right now. It feels so good. And I've made a lot of pivots and changes in my business this year. And this is the first time I've really leaned into like full alignment. Like, I'm doing this and it's scary, but I'm just going to do it. And every time I do that, opportunities arise. And it's like the universe is like, here's a nugget, you're on the right path. Here's a little nugget, you're on the right path. And I feel like I still have a little bit more to go. But I feel like I'm going in the right direction.
I love that.
Yeah.
How do you know that you're like being your most fullest expressed self right now? Like, what are your like internal cues? Like,
I feel like when I look back at like when I was not following my path of alignment and I was doing things that were not fully expressing myself, or like I was kind of like pushing some of my desires and how I want to run things and how I want to do things down and not letting them fully express, I was dysregulated, like anxious, tired. Now I feel like I'm a lot lighter. Like, I really truly feel like you can feel it, so like in your body. I just feel lighter. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but it is like an internal feeling and like an actual physical feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, like freedom,
Freedom.
alive,
Yeah.
vital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You start to see me more. Like, I'm not hiding like a hermit inside my house. Like, I've been at Like Minded like every week the last month.
That's awesome. You're like,
She
I'm
comes out
doing
to,
good.
I come out to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
was so fun.
Thank you both so much. This was
Thank you.
great.
We hope you loved today's episode and that it sparked something in yourself on your journey to becoming more fully expressed.
Don't forget to check the show notes for all the details and resources from today's conversation. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review.
We'd love to hear your thoughts and takeaways, as it really helps us to create better content that actually serves you.
This week, we invite you to show up even more as you, more honest, more real, more expressive in your life and business. And we'll see you on the next one.